Cold open. Hiroshima. August 6th, 1945. Morning light. People walking to work. Then an instant that breaks language. A flash. A shockwave. A city becomes silent. 3 days later, Nagasaki. And within weeks, Japan is defeated. Here is the paradox the world still struggles to explain. How did the country that suffered the atomic bombings become one of America's closest security partners? Cut to future court of history. Now fast forward to the year 2140. In the international tribunal known as the Court of History, this case is reopened not to judge pain, not to rewrite morality, but to examine statecraft. How can trauma and alliance coexist? And what did Japan and the United States each gain or sacrifice to make it work? The charge, the alliance paradox. Case name: the alliance paradox. Charges under review. Charge 1. Strategic necessity overriding moral outrage. Charge 2. Memory separated from policy. Charge 3. Security outsourced, stability optimized. The court will answer one question: what mechanism transformed enemies into partners without erasing the memory of the bomb? Let the record begin. Exhibit A. What happened after 1945? Exhibit A. The immediate aftermath. In 1945, Japan is defeated and occupied. The old system collapses. A new political framework is built under Allied, primarily American, authority. This matters because the first bridge between enemies was not friendship. It was governance. For years, the United States is not just an external power. It is part of Japan's political environment. That creates a foundation unequal, complicated, but real. A shared structure in which the future can be negotiated. Exhibit B. The global switch that changed everything. The late 1940s and early 1950s are not just Japan's recovery period. They are the start of a new world conflict, the Cold War. In that environment, the question changes. It is no longer only, how do we punish the enemy? It becomes, how do we stabilize the region? Japan's location becomes strategic. And the United States shifts from occupying former enemy to building a security architecture in Asia. This is where the paradox begins to harden into policy. The mechanism separating memory from policy. Now the court introduces a crucial mechanism. Japan learned to separate two realities. Reality 1, memory. The atomic bombings become a moral and human trauma, deep, lasting, sacred. Reality 2, policy. Japan's survival depends on security, reconstruction, and international positioning. This separation does not erase memory. It contains it, protects it by placing it in institutions. Memorials, education, civic identity. And it allows policy to pursue stability without demanding emotional forgiveness. This is not a story of forgetting. It is a story of compartmentalization. At this point, the court adds a warning about language. Many Western viewers ask, did Japan forgive? But forgiveness is a personal, moral act. States don't operate primarily on forgiveness. They operate on constraints, incentives, and survival. So the better question is not, did Japan forgive the U.S.? The better question is, how did Japan preserve the meaning of Hiroshima and Nagasaki while building a security framework that prevented the next catastrophe? That is why memory and policy had to be separated. Not to erase pain, but to keep the nation functional under pressure. The tribunal identifies 3 conditions that made this alliance possible. First, a shared external threat. Without a larger danger, former enemies rarely become partners. Second, institutions. Occupation and post-war reforms created channels, legal, political, and economic, through which cooperation could be negotiated. Third, a clear division of roles. The U.S. provided the security umbrella. Japan focused on rebuilding and growth. When these 3 conditions align, history can move faster than emotion. Exhibit C, the security bargain. Japan's post-war constitution embraces pacifism. At the same time, the world remains dangerous. So Japan enters a bargain that can be stated simply. The United States provides the core of external security. Japan focuses on internal rebuilding and economic growth. This arrangement reduces one type of friction, the need to build a large, independent military posture immediately. But it creates another, dependence, and the moral tension of relying on a former enemy for protection. That tension becomes part of Japan's modern identity. Cross-examination. Is this hypocrisy? The prosecutor speaks.
Your Honors, isn't this hypocrisy? How can a victim align with the perpetrator? Does strategy cancel morality?
The defense responds.
Your Honors, it is not hypocrisy. It is survival under constraints. A destroyed country must choose priorities. Reconstruction requires stability. Stability requires security. Security required alignment.
The court notes, moral pain and strategic necessity can coexist. The question is not whether it is emotionally clean. The question is whether it prevented further catastrophe. Why the alliance was acceptable to many Japanese. Now the court examines why this arrangement became acceptable to many Japanese. 3 reasons stand out. First time, as years pass, generations change. Memory remains, but daily life demands forward movement. Second framing. The alliance is framed less as emotional reconciliation and more as a structural necessity. Third benefits. Economic recovery accelerates under a stable environment. For many citizens, stability becomes proof that the bargain works, even if it feels morally uncomfortable. This is how paradoxes survive, not by being resolved, but by being managed. The cost, what was sacrificed. But every bargain has a price. The price includes dependence, a reduced ability to act fully independently in security matters. The price includes ambiguity, a pacifist identity alongside a security partnership. And the price includes tension in memory, how to preserve the moral meaning of Hiroshima and Nagasaki while cooperating with the state that dropped the bombs. This is not a simple happy ending. It is a stable arrangement built on unresolved emotion. Why does this case matter today? Because it shows a broader pattern in Japan's modern history. Japan often prioritizes stability through carefully managed contradictions. Not by erasing conflict, but by building structures that allow life to continue. That is why Japan's moral paradoxes exist. These are not trivia. They are engineering problems of society. How do you survive, rebuild, and remain coherent under extreme pressure? And the court notes one more thing. This paradox never fully ended. Even today, Japan's public memory of 1945 remains sacred, while strategic reality continues to demand cooperation. That tension is not a bug. It's the mechanism that kept the post-war system stable. Verdict. The court's conclusion. The court of history offers a conclusion. Japan did not become an ally because it forgave in a simple moral sense. Japan became a partner because the post-war world demanded a security architecture, and Japan's survival demanded stability. The atomic bombings remained a moral wound. The alliance became a strategic framework. Two truths, one nation. That is the hardest paradox. Trauma remembered and strategy chosen. Case adjourned. Next episode, Hook. Choose one. Next time, the court turns to another paradox of continuity. How can an imperial institution survive every regime change, even when power shifts completely? Or, how can multiple religions coexist in daily life without constant religious war? Because once you see how Japan manages contradictions, the patterns become impossible to unsee. See you in court.